in the building. We in the building. We in this bitch. We in the building, bitch. We in the building. We in this bitch.
Finally, RZeroB and PTA have come back to Giants Talk. I gotta move the talk because my camera blocks where it says.
Blocks talk, so maybe we can put Giants, push it over to the left a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to push it over right below the middle. Yes.
I mean, I won't be bad. No, that shouldn't even be a big of a deal. Yeah, okay.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Which means that finally RZeroB and PTA have come back to BGN.
Wait a minute. Can we just interrupt just 1 second because I didn't get the opportunity to come up on here and make fun of my boss. I didn't get to come up here and make fun of Philly Notion. I didn't get to come up here and say a single solitary thing about the Philadelphia chicken sandwiches. And I just want to let you guys know, since we are here on Bird Gang Network, BGN, since we are here, I'd like to say congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, you guys went out there, you balled out, you outplayed them. You outcoached him. You made him look funny. You made him look bad. Tim from All Line Big Blue is in the background, but he's going to have to wait until we get the intro done. So when we do the intro, we bring him in, he can do his intro, and we can get things popping. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the Eagles. Oh, that's it. I'm done.
Oh, no.
No,
do you want me to finish and then let him do his thing?
No, yeah, you can do your thing, and then he can do his thing, and then I can do my yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show, we are going to be going over the cap. We are going to be going over possible Daniel Jones 5-year, $200 million contract. Will Saquon Barkley be the scapegoat? Is Daniel Jones coming back? And is our future quarterback in this draft? There's only one man, ladies and gentlemen, that can help us do that. There's only one man that can deliver the wisdom, the energy, the power. He's got the desire. He's coming to you in 60 seconds. Of New York Giants Straight Talk. He is Tim Big Blue Entertainment, a.k.a. New York Giants Straight Talk.
You know what? I was looking around like, who the fuck is he talking about? I want to meet this guy.
Who's this guy?
Who the hell is this guy? What's going on, everyone?
What's going on, Tim?
We're doing okay. So Rob just has one last thing that he has to do, and then we can get this shindig going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which means we gonna kill the show. If you smell what RZeroB, PTA, and Tim is cooking. What's going on, PTA?
Hey, Rob, Tim, what is going on, everybody? Man, listen, a lot of stuff going on in the interwebs. I've been looking around, and I've been listening, and I've been reading, and I've been watching, and seems like the interwebs going out of control about a gentleman by the name of Daniel Jones and how much money he wants.
You mean we weren't before?
I mean, now listen, it's crazy.
Now it's getting real.
People going off the deep end. Like it's
real money involved now. There's real money involved.
Listen, y'all remember about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago, when I was talking about how free the season was, how everything was just nice and easy. We ain't had to work. You remember all that talk?
I do.
Yeah, all that shit. Shout out to Authentic in the building. Shout out to Nelson. Listen, fuck all that. Fuck all that. First and foremost, before I even continue, Thinnick, I see you, and I know what you be out there in these streets doing. Okay, this dude, this dude out here, and he getting people talking. I see him. Fuck all the other stuff that we were talking about. Shout out to Authentic, man. I want to give Authentic his flowers, man.
Authentic in the beard, they took a little break, right? But he didn't. He's pedal to the metal every day.
Listen,
listen. Knowledge.
Finnick is just out here, and he's just like he's hitting people in the face with facts. Shut up. You shut up too. He's just listen. I see what he's out there doing. He's just swatting the fucking flies. Yeet. Yo, this place is going crazy, y'all. I want to address something, but before we even continue, because we get a little bit out of control, y'all, and I need to just remind y'all something before I get back to talking about how not free this season is, because this is fresh in my mind and I really want to say it. Y'all know I always got to be the OG out here in these streets. Hey, listen, man, it's the internet, y'all, right? So like a lot of this shit ain't real. Like a lot of this shit is fake. Like a lot of the beef and a lot of the yelling and the screaming. I mean, I'm not saying all the beef is fake. I'm just saying like a lot of it's. Listen, y'all. Stop disrespecting each other on a personal level, man. It's the internet. Like this is not real.
But that's what the internet was made for.
I'm not real. Okay? I'm like AI. Treat me like I'm AI. Listen, I don't gotta be getting personal out here, man. I'm just putting it out there. All right. Y'all need to chill. Now, with that being said, the season is no longer free. Okay. The season is no longer free. And now this shit means something. And I have to tell you, okay, Tim, you're going to have to talk me off the ledge.
Or push you.
Or push me.
I'm going to be one of the two.
I am not happy with these numbers that I am seeing that are associated to my quarterback potentially, right? He's a free agent now, technically. No, wait a minute. No, what's free agent?
Technically, he's not a free agent.
Technically, he's still the Giants quarterback, right? Okay, just make sure he's still on the roster. Okay, cool. So I don't want to sit here and I don't want to like pretend that like I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Because I don't know nothing about these contracts. I don't really know a whole lot about this money. I'm a football coach, okay? But this is a lot of money. Okay, this is a lot of money that we're talking about, and the only reason why I'm not jumping out the window right now is because I haven't seen anything in regards to what's really happening with these contract negotiations, and oh shit. See, and I knew this was getting ready. I knew this was coming, I don't listen. I told y'all I didn't know what I was talking about when it came to the money, but I knew that man needed to get his money because I knew that man was going to be a beast, and I was right. And we paying out the nose for him, right? But he's a beast. You're not going to sit here and act like he's not a beast. Okay?
I would prefer him to be a player.
I mean,
a beast. I'd like to see him stop the run. I'd like to see him have some people maybe slow some people down from going into the second level. You get paid like Aaron Donald. You should play like Aaron Donald.
I mean, I understand.
Listen, not play like Keith Hamilton.
Listen, I understand.
Hey, Keith Hamilton wasn't a bad player.
But that's what I'm saying.
Listen,
he's not a bad player, but he's not.
I understand. I really do understand, right? I understand that like we're paying Leonard Williams a lot of money, and we're not getting the kind of performance that we're getting.
He's crying, laughing.
But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like
$1 million a year, and I can hold the line just as well as Leonard Williams.
Listen, well then you should have tried out for the fucking team. You know what I mean? You should have tried out for the team, Pimpin. Why you mad at him for getting this? Listen,
running back blow by me.
I'm not gonna hate on somebody getting their money, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? And that's what every single Tom, Dick, and Harry walking around here telling you it ain't about the money. It is, okay? Everything is about the fucking money. Don't let them tell you differently. So I'm never gonna be mad about somebody getting their bag. Now, with that being said, I felt like Leonard Williams was more of a contributor to this team than I feel like Daniel Jones is. Now, that could be my own bias because y'all know I'm not a Daniel Jones apologist. Y'all know I'm not going to get up here and cap for no Daniel Jones. But we talk about numbers north of 40. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How are we talking about numbers in the 40s with Daniel Jones? Somebody's got to explain this to me.
I wrote Tim this morning. I was like, Tim, please tell me this isn't real. And he gave me an answer. I was like, man, I was hoping you tell me I was hoping you tell me like be patient or something. Like, give me some hope. Give me something.
Bro,
give me something, maybe.
What the fuck?
And so he responds. He's like,
about right now?
So he responds and he's like, be patient. Being sarcastic. I was like, oh, whatever.
I mean, like, why are we even discussing this? Why are we even having this discussion? That's what I want to know. Why are we even like shout out to YouTube Yoda, right? Shout out to YouTube Yoda. But like, Rob, you debated this man yesterday about Daniel Jones, and I as much as I enjoyed watching this thing happen, as much as I agree with a lot of points made by a lot of people on that damn night. But why are we even talking about Daniel Jones and $40 million? Yo, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I don't know. And I think that there's a common misconception right now, and we'll get into it with Tim, where people think what the market is what every quarterback is supposed to get paid. And their answer is, well, that's what the market is. Well, that may be true, but that doesn't mean that the player deserves to get paid that money. Okay, so the players deserve to get paid off of their production and what they do. But what I will say is we had so many Daniel Jones truthers, so many Daniel Jones, this, that, and the third saying he's going to get a 5-year deal, 140, 120, 150. And then the news broke. Daniel Jones looking for $45 to $46 million a year, which I believe is accurate. And everybody was like, what?
Fuck.
And they said, and there were people that said, nah, we got Tyrod Taylor. Now we got Tyrod Taylor. Now we can go out and draft a quarterback. Now we've got this. Now we've got that. Okay. So, and you're right. Yes. And I'll say this and I'll throw it to Tim and he can clarify a lot of this. You know, we'll go questions, this and that, and the third. Anybody in the chat, shout out to everybody. Anybody got questions and whatnot? You know, let us know in the chat and we'll get to it. But what Yoda was talking about yesterday was just absolute blasphemous, because what he's looking to do is take a model or a thing that worked in 2013 to 2019 or 2018 when they drafted Patrick Mahomes, and he wants to make it work in 2023. Now, the best example I gave on there is if I am in charge of running and producing product for people, and I'm spending X amount of dollars and it gets me X amount of product that I'm distributing out to my manufacturers, I cannot then go ahead and say some years down the road, I'm going to spend the same amount when cost goes up and price goes up and do the same thing and get the same amount of product, thinking I'm going to go ahead and be able to distribute it because I'm not going to be able to get the same amount of product. And I think that's the misconception. He said things like that he counted for 14% on the cap. It was more like 6 to 7% is what Alex Smith counted as the cap. He had stated that the cap was $120 million per team. It was 133. And Authentic even came today and said that the teams were vastly different from when Mahomes was there and when Alex Smith was there. They redid almost the entire defense, DBs, linebackers. It was totally different. Totally different. So, not all is true. And at the end of the day, if that is the end result, that is the end goal, to do the Kansas City Chief plan where we have our Alex Smith and then we go get our Patrick Mahomes, in what mind would we want to go ahead and backload contracts and pay a man $40-something million and then say, bye, DJ. We got our Mahomes now. Thank you for everything you did the last 3 years. Bye. Have a good time. What? That makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense. So, Tim, what are anything that you can share? What is the reality of this? Is this legitimate? Is this a 5-year deal that is actually possible? How is it going to work? And shout out, he's not going to reveal too much because he's got a video coming out tomorrow. So make sure you guys check it out.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
No spoilers.
But what's the severity of this? What is like is there any real merit truth to this? Is it all smoke, which I think it is? We'll get into that later.
I don't think it's
You don't think it's smoke at all. You think it's legitimate.
I think, and I just wanted to say one thing about, I keep getting DMs about the, and I didn't see the videos or whatever was going on about the Kansas City model, that we need to follow the Kansas City model. We need to follow the Kansas City model. Well, the reason why the Kansas City model worked is because Patrick Mahomes turned into Patrick Mahomes. You could follow the Kansas City model and your quarterback could turn into Heath Schuler. Your quarterback could turn into something else. And it only works if you have a Patrick Mahomes. That's the biggest issue with following the model of another team, that you have a quarterback, you draft a quarterback. That's not the Kansas City model. That's been the model going back to the 70s. People forget in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when they didn't have free agency, teams would stockpile number one draft choices and sometimes put quarterbacks who are number one picks and not start them for 3 years, 4 years, because there was no free agency. So you really can't follow. I always hate when I hear that, follow the model. You need to follow what your team needs to do. In reference to the contract, I think there's validity. I think him leaving CAA to Athletes First was a big step because CAA is a larger agency, but they handle more. They handle movie stars, celebrities, models, and everything else. So they're not solely focused on football. I mean, they definitely have their sports division. And I mentioned it before, when you leave, I think it was on one of the Twitter streams, that when you leave an agency, there's a 5-day window and there's a letter of notice saying that you are leaving the agency and then you're going to a new one. And the reason why they give you that 5-day window is also because of the fact that the agency is going to try to either re-sign you and bring you back or do everything they can, because they make their money off of commissions, off of your contract, off of your endorsement deals. That's how they make money. And a lot of times what they use that 5-day window for is to try to lure the person back. Now, there's a reason why the CAA waived that window. And there's a reason, usually there's a reasons why they waived the window, that they're trying to be nice, which is usually never the case in business, or the fact that they feel that they don't have a relationship with the player because they're not on the same page in reference to what they think he's worth. And I think him going strictly to a agency that's sports related kind of lends the validity that he wants the $45 million. That he wants that big number because he wants to follow. If you look at the contracts now for quarterbacks, you have like 3 or 4 guys making 40 plus. You got like another 3 guys making 30 and then a bunch of guys making 8. So there's no middle ground. So like Eli Manning in his last contract, he's going to dictate what he feels is contract value. The problem is Eli Manning at the time of that last deal, while it was a bad contract for the Giants, Eli Manning had already had 2 Super Bowl rings, multiple 4,000-yard seasons. He was coming off 35 touchdowns, a couple of years in a row. So he had a resume that he was getting paid off of. And a lot of these big name players are getting paid off, like Mahomes is getting paid off a resume. Aaron Rodgers off a resume. Josh Allen off a resume. Daniel Jones is 1 season with 22 total touchdowns, 3,000 yards, 700 yards rushing. And you look at this and he thinks he's setting, if he actually gets 40 million, it will wreck the quarterback market. It will destroy it because of the fact that you will have guys that are same as average as Daniel Jones. They're going to want the same amount of money.
So I'm looking at the AAV for quarterbacks right now in the league. So in regards to AAV coming up, you got Aaron Rodgers. He's going to get 50. That's just disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's going to get 50. Russell Wilson's going to get 48. Kyler Murray's going to get 46. Deshaun Watson's going to get 46. Pat Mahomes is going to get 45. Josh Allen's getting 43. Dak Prescott's getting 40. Matt Stafford's getting 40. And then you got Kirk Cousins who's getting 35. So Daniel Jones is effectively asking to be paid like a top 10 quarterback.
Right. And his agency is going to say, this is what they're going to pitch, that he is up and coming. He's proven now that he could stay healthy. He's proven that he can limit his turnovers, and he has the ability to move forward into that upper echelon. So you might as well sign him now, because of the fact that if you don't, it's going to cost you more down the road, which is why you should.
Who the fuck is going to sign Daniel Jones right now?
Well, that's the case. You can. I always say, especially with agents, that you don't make. It's not that you're making up a rumor. Sometimes you're misinterpreting a rumor. And I laugh because I remember a conversation, and this didn't have to do with sports. This was in the business world, and there was a large deal going on, and one of the players in the deal kind of said something, but they didn't mean it, because what they were saying was, okay, this could happen. And then once that got out in the air, and once that got on the press, it started becoming fact. You hear Washington, you hear Carolina, you hear Baltimore would be a good fit if they move on from Lamar because of their run-heavy offense. So they're creating, in some ways, they're trying to create the market for DJ. But the problem is, I don't see a $45 million market. I don't see a $40 million market. Hell, I don't see a $30 million market. Because, and I've said this a million times with the Giants, this has to be a 5-year deal, because of the fact that you are going to have to at least put 20 to 25 in that first year, give the bulk of the money in year 3, and you're probably going to guarantee about 60 to 70% of the contract. So it's going to have to be built via 5 years, because it's the only way, even at $30 million, will it fit in what they need to do cap-wise, because of the multitudes of holes that they have and the ability and what they have to do vis-a-vis the draft. Because right now, and shameless plug, in my video tomorrow, I talk about the draft allotment. The Giants draft allotment is 10.8. So it's 10.8 million that they have to put aside just to have your draft.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Joe Shane has already said that he likes to have between $10 to $11 million in operational cap space during the season. So that's already $20 million. And let's say you're
2021.
You're already at 50. So let's just make the number 50. I'm already sitting there at, you're taking a look at this, and I'm already sitting at 29. So there is just so much, and you also have Julian Love coming up, for his contract as well. If you want to bring back Darius Slayton, you got to look into Saquon Barkley. There's so many.
Darius Slayton.
Well, you know what? I'm a huge Darius Slayton fan. I've been from the day one.
Tim,
one, but he's a 2 or 3.
Tim, why are we drooling on our shirts?
So
Darius Slayton.
So Tim,
why?
I got to ask, just because you've been around GMs, you've been in the league, you've been around so you know how they think. And in this situation, if you could just to kind of set the stage on the almost kind of like the handcuffs, what is really stopping the Giants from just pulling the plug? What is it? Is it fear? Is it ticket sales? Is it jerseys? Is it the ownership? What is really the thing that is making Joe think that he is more than likely going to pay this guy this kind of money as opposed to pulling the plug? Like, can you get shed any light on what that looks like and why?
I will tell you right now, we don't know what Shane's thinking. We don't know if he's pulled the plug or not. He may have already pulled the plug. I mean, he met extensively with Hendon Hooker the other day. I mean, he's scouted quarterbacks.
The other day he met with Hendon.
They met extensively with him a couple days ago, and so did the Raiders, the Cowboys, and a few other teams. And they're saying right now that he will be ready for start of training camp coming off the ACL. But we don't know what's in Shane's mind. Shane could have already moved on from Daniel Jones. We won't know until March 13th. We won't know until we get to the legal tampering period in free agency what's in Shane's mind. If Shane goes out and starts picking up some players, starting on March 13th, and he starts eating away at that cap space, and Daniel Jones still isn't signed,
that's kind of a dead incentive that he's moving on.
He's moving on. So we really can't tell what he's thinking right now. I mean, is there fear and trepidation if that Daniel Jones could go somewhere and ball out? Of course. Is there fear that you're going to give him $40 million and then he's going to regress and you're going to be stuck with this albatross of a contract like Leonard Williams for 3 years?
I love Leonard Williams and I don't care. All right, I don't care. I said give him his bag. I said that. I said it. God damn it, y'all not gonna make me feel bad for loving Big Cat. Fuck y'all.
Listen, you know what? He had one good season. You can't take away from that. But
no, Big Cat got good film. He had good film this year. I watched it. He had good film this year. Really good film this year.
Interesting if you take a look at Leonard Williams, not to get off topic. Actually, the Giants' run defense played better when Leonard wasn't in the game. They gave up less yards per carry. But we're not going to say
that one more time because you broke
when
up.
Leonard Williams was out of the game, when he was out via a couple of games via injury, the run defense actually excelled more. In other words, in stopping the run, they gave up less yards per carry.
I mean,
we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
Listen, I'm gonna die on this Big Cat hill, y'all. I don't care. I don't care how much money we need Big Cat. I'm dying on this hill. I'm not married to him, right? So if we trade him or some shit, it is what it is. But if we ain't doing that, we need Big Cat here. I don't care about his contract. All right, that one I'm gonna let slide.
You got him one more year because he's not going anywhere. But to Rob's question, like I said, we don't know really what's in Shane's mind. Shane could have already made up his mind that he is moving. What's up, Mr. Lewis? That he is moving on. He is just going out the door. We don't know yet. Like I said, we'll get a better idea March 13th. I mean, I think the telling sign is the fact that they offered Saquon.
Raldo was good.
That we offered him a contract, during the bye week. And then when Shane was asked about Daniel Jones, he was like, we haven't even talked to his representation yet. And now we find out that they just started communications or open dialogue just a week ago. That's
Monday. It was Monday because Pat Leonard came out with an article and did some digging himself, not going off of anybody else, did some digging. And the Giants never had any communication with Daniel Jones after the season was over because Jones informed them that he was changing his representation and from CAA to Athletes First. And CAA knew about it. They went ahead and waived the 5-day buffer period so that, Athletes First could get the ball rolling. And more than likely because, you got to really make a decision by next week, because you got the tag is on the 7th. So we gotta get it, Joe Shane, and then they got to get the ball rolling.
Well, they could tag now, of course. They
can tag now. What I think is because there's reports, which more than likely is coming from Jones's representatives, which is the 45, 46. That's what he wants. And then you saw a report yesterday, and I can't remember the young lady's name, that reported and said the Giants are making him a high priority to get the deal done. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm just saying, like, they didn't talk to him during the bye week. They when asked questions about him, they didn't talk highly of him. It was always he did what we asked him to do. He did what he was asked. He did this. It's never like, man, Daniel Jones. I mean, like, look, he did this well. He did this. Like, Daves doesn't talk about him like he talked about Jalen Hurts when we were going up against Philadelphia. Okay, so I was talking with people today, and here's my thing: if there's going to be a deal done for Daniel Jones, it's happening this week. It'll happen at least by Sunday or by Monday morning. If we don't hear anything by Monday morning, I think they're going to tag him. And I think what's going to happen is Joe Shane, maybe what you said, potentially. I think at that point, I don't think he wants to waste too much time. I think he's doing this to appease the fans that want him back, to say, hey, listen, we tried. We tried to bring him back. We wanted to bring him back. And I'm thinking back to the press conference where he said the goal would be to have Daniel come back and to build a team around Daniel Jones to potentially win a Super Bowl. The goal, well, you can have goals all you want, but you got to be able to achieve them. And if he's asking for astronomical numbers at 45, 46, they could turn around and say, listen, that was our goal, but it wouldn't work. It wasn't going to work with what the young man was looking for. That way they can move on cleanly. It happens all the time in sports. So I think if we don't hear anything by Monday, he's going to get tagged. I think Shane is going to move on from it and just say in his mind, without saying it to him, but in his mind, he's like, I'm going to tag him. And then he's silently going to go ahead and work on Saquon Barkley and maybe up that deal a little bit. Maybe go up to $13 million to try to bring back Saquon Barkley. And because they offered him 12.5. So maybe you give him 13. Maybe you give him 13.5. I don't know. Bringing him back on a 3-year deal. And I think they're going to go ahead and move on. They're going to try to work out a trade for Daniel Jones potentially. But I think he's getting tagged. I don't think he's getting a 4 or 5 year deal.
I'm gonna say one thing real quick. Bruce Allen, former general manager of Tampa Bay, was in a meeting once with him, and he said something that's kind of apropos now, and it's something I can tell you that GMs right now they go by. GMs don't listen to fans because fans get you fired. And he said that straight. I forget what the context of the meeting was, but I remember him saying that straight up because I wrote it down. That fans will get you fired. So I don't think Shane it's not that he doesn't care about the fans. I think he understands though that if you listen to your fan base and you do not they have a plan. We don't know what the plan is, but Shane has a plan, and he is going to follow his plan no matter what the fan base says. Now, the owners will listen more to the fans because of the fact that they pay for the tickets, they pay for the stadium, they buy the merchandise. But the GM won't. Doesn't, because like I said, he said it quite succinctly. Fans will get you fired if you listen to them directly.
So I sit here, right, and I think about all of the different possibilities, right? Because like none of us know what the answer is. None of us know what the secret is, because if we did, we wouldn't be here. We'd be somewhere else getting paid for said secret. So I'm not going to sit here and speculate too much on what I think the team is doing, because I really don't know, y'all. Like I really have no idea how these negotiations work. Here's what I do know. Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are asking for a lot of money. And I don't quite understand why. And I'm going to explain why I say that, because I can't say earlier that I'm all about players getting their bag and then say I can't understand why these players are trying to get their bag. So let me explain, okay? It always perplexes me how you'll have these players talking about how they want to be with an organization. They love being at the organization. They want to help the organization grow and win. And then you pull shit like this where you're like, well, I need to be paid like a top 10 player. Bro, like we got a salary cap for a reason. There's a salary cap. Like, are y'all not thinking about the salary cap? I mean, like, think about the fact that y'all could not take as much money to stay here and help build something that's sustainable. Build something that you can get endorsements off of. Build something so that you can open businesses off of it. Like, why y'all asking? And we don't know if they're even asking for this money, first of all, because everything that we know right now could be a fucking lie. But if it's not a lie, why y'all asking for all that money? Like, you know there's a salary cap. You know everybody got to get a little bit of that salary cap. Like, come on, we can figure something out here. I don't understand what's happening. But again, I'm not panicking because nothing's happened. No one said anything. Everything has been a bunch of speculation, and I know a guy who knows a guy that robbed a guy, and that's cool until something happens. I'm not going to really freak out, but I will admit I don't feel good about this situation. I don't feel good about this Daniel Jones situation. I don't feel good about this Saquon Barkley situation. I love Saquon Barkley. I love him. I have his jersey, and now he may not be a Giant anymore. That's going to suck, right? That sucks, because it's the first non-legacy Giants uniform I have bought. And I don't even know how long. I bought the new New York Giants old school throwbacks, and that motherfucker say Strahan on the back. I don't buy current players, but I have a Saquon Barkley jersey. So I have as much love and care invested in the Saquon Barkley as the biggest Saquon Barkley fan. But I don't feel good about paying these prices to players when we are nowhere near being a running back away. We ain't never been a fucking running back away. I never agreed with Saquon Barkley coming to the Giants in the first place. But I'm a support. When Saquon Barkley go to another team, y'all, I'm buying his jersey for that team. I don't care. Y'all can fucking hate me. Fuck y'all. Okay? I love Saquon Barkley. Kiss my ass. I've loved him since college. These players are pissing me off, y'all. These players are fucking pissing me off.
So
these are supposed to be our leaders here.
They are.
And I know y'all want to get paid like leaders, right? But you should also get paid like leaders. You know what I'm saying? If you want to win championships, if you want to live in infamy, if you want to be a god, then y'all do what y'all need to do to set this fucking franchise up. As players, as front office, as the fucking janitor, y'all should be doing every fucking thing you can to say, let me help y'all as much as I possibly can while still getting a little something myself so that we can become fucking legends. Billy Mays has not showed up. What's up, Chris? What's up, Ash? Sergeant Mayhem, I didn't say what's up to you earlier. Patriot War Team, what's going on with you, man? I'm so happy that your league is still up and you didn't destroy it like I destroyed Hall of Fame. I'm not coming back. It's not happening. Okay, I'm not doing it. Fuck Madden, fuck EA Sports, all that. We're not doing that. Okay.
So here's the thing when it comes to the Kansas City model that just to go back to that for a second.
Yeah.
That Tana was talking about, right? So I think that, and my buddy of mine, Sal, who's not a content creator, you like what I did?
He's
there,
not. He's not a content creator.
Sal, who's not a content creator, it really said the right statement today in my space, and was basically saying that I think that people have the wrong conception, and I think even Chris does too, when it comes to the Kansas City model, is that at this point, I don't think necessarily it's that you're going to build a team and then get your quarterback. You are in win now mode. It is win now. So if you're going to go ahead and you're going to give Daniel Jones his contract and you're going to bring back Saquon Barkley, then you are going to be trading away assets to acquire talent. You're going to go ahead and acquire guys like DeAndre Hopkins. You're going to call and inquire about guys like T. Higgins, about guys like Brandon Ayuk. You're going to trade away draft capital, and you're going to sign guys like Tremaine Edmonds or TJ Edwards and backload those contracts. You're going to extend Leonard Williams and get that cap space and push it back. You're going to extend Adoree Jackson. You're going to do all of these things because you are in a win now mode. You have a 2 to 3 year window now where you have to win now. It is win now because you're not going to take 2 years, this year and next year. And here's the thing, and Tim said this 2 days ago, not every draft pick is going to make the roster. Not every draft pick is going to make the roster. And when you look at the draft picks, how many draft picks that if you have 10 draft picks, how many of those actually turn into good players? We've seen Thibs this year who played well. Evan Neal, not so much. Could it be to where Neal busts and Thibs excels? What about Daniel Bellinger? He looks okay. Beavers, we don't know what he is. He didn't play yet. McKeithen, we don't know what he is. He hasn't played yet. Cordell Flott, we don't know. Wow, he made a couple of plays against fucking Osborne, in the Minnesota Vikings game. Whoop-de-doo. Great job there, Fear of the Flott. Awesome work.
You're not going to minimize my guy Cordell Flott. Fuck you, RZeroB. I will not stand for that shit. Cordell Flott is a baby goat in the making. Fuck you.
I'm not knocking on him, but we don't know what he is yet, right? Wandale Robinson, with all due respect,
he's a baby goat in the making.
Yeah, baby goat.
I love Cordell Flott. Yo, hold on a second. No, you. That's because you don't know Cordell Flott's story. If you knew Cordell Flott's story, you'd be a fucking fan. Cordell Flott is a goon. He's a goon. He's gonna be so
a goon,
good.
and he may be the GOAT. But if he doesn't pan out, he's gonna be a sacrificial lamb.
I ain't worried about him. He's gonna be. He's gonna be.
Okay?
He is. Fucking write this shit down. Okay, February 22nd, the year of our Lord 2023. Okay, I said this shit today. Cordell Flott's gonna be a monster. All right, I'm willing to stand on his take. I love this kid. I love his mentality. I love what I see on film. I've loved what I've seen on film since I started looking at this motherfucker when we picked him up. Cordell ain't going, nah, man. I'll drive North Carolina right now.
Fine. Maybe Cordell Flott ends up being something, right? Wandale Robinson. We went ahead and we saw something with Wandale Robinson, the game that he got injured. Again, we don't know what he's going to end up being, right? We have all of these question marks. We have all of the DJ Davidson, all of these guys. We don't know. Right now, wholeheartedly, right now, I can say out of how many picks do we have this past year, Tim? What was it, 11? 10 or 11?
I think it was 10. We have
10?
Yeah, I think it was 10.
So out of those 10 picks, I'm for sure about 2. Bellinger and Thibs. 2. 2 out of the 10. I'm not saying the other ones can't turn into something, but right now you could say 2 out of those 10 picks, we've got good players. We've got good players. Neal still needs to improve. Wandale needs to get back and get healthy. We haven't seen Beavers. We haven't seen McKeithen. Ezekiel, he may not even play football again. We don't know. With his neck injury, he may be done. I hope he's not. Please get well soon, Ezekiel. But I mean, like, you're not going to hit. So what you're saying is you're going all in. Joe Shane cannot miss on a draft pick. Cannot miss on a draft pick with whatever picks you're going to have. And you are going to be trading assets away, going and getting players, playmakers for your quarterback. And you are going all in because you think you are going to be in the Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years, or at least competing for it.
Who thinks that?
You have to be. If you're going to pay Daniel Jones that kind of money, that is your mindset. You think that in the next 2 years, you are competing in the Super Bowl. Now, here's what pisses me off. I hear Giants fans saying, well, the conference is weak. All of the quarterbacks are in the AFC. I'm sorry. Don't we play the AFC in the fucking Super Bowl? Who are we going to beat? We ain't going to beat Trevor. We ain't going to beat Josh. Good luck with Patty. Who we going to beat?
Hey, Patrick Mahomes. By the way, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play football. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks, y'all. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback to ever play football. That's another take that I'm saying.
Pest, I'm going to say something to you. You're not going to like what I'm about to say. You want to know who agreed with you? You want to know who agreed with you?
Who?
Tim probably knows what I'm going to say. You want to know who agreed with you?
Who?
Ben McAdoo.
I knew where you're going.
Okay, fuck you. Yo, listen. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest
who else knew?
Quarterback I ever seen play.
No, Jerry Reese knew, but Jerry Reese didn't want to fucking pull the trigger.
Jerry Reese wasn't listening. He was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
He knew. Jerry Reese knew. But he's like, nah. Davis Webb, he's the answer. Choice.
Okay, so Tim, I'm gonna give you the GM hat right now. Okay,
I'm not putting it on. My hair looks too good.
Oh no, yeah, the hair. No, you just sit in that fucking trophy case behind you. So you're the GM, and you're in the current position that you're in right now. Okay, I'm gonna give you two scenarios. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 scenarios. In one scenario, you sign both players. In one scenario, you only sign one of the 2. I'll let you pick. And in the third scenario, you don't sign any players. So let's start with the first scenario where you sign both of these players, okay, to money close to what they're asking for, right? We're gonna keep this fair and honest. What's the first move you make after that?
I'm going to get my resume together because I'm probably going to get fired in 2025. So that's the first thing that I'm going to have. You can't, there's nothing else to do. You sign either or both, you have no cap. You have, even if you could bring Daniel Jones at a manageable 20 million, you have Saquon Barkley at 10. He wants 14, but let's say it's 10. You're already at 30 million. You have your 10.8 for your rookie class. You're already almost at 40 plus. Your free agency is done. You're going to have to find 2 guards, at least 2 to 3 linebackers, potentially a CB2, potentially a strong safety, a punter. I mean, you're going to have to find at least a true defensive end that understands the philosophy of maintaining your edge and playing against the run and understanding your gap assignments. You are going to have to find these guys all. You have 11 picks, and you're going to have to find them all in the draft. Because of the fact that you have nothing left, your capital is gone. I mean, this is, and I've said this before. This is, I did not invent math, and so many people have gotten mad at me over the last 2 years because I've been saying this about the cap for 2 years now. And when I spoke about it last year before the start of the season, that 2022 was going to be a horrific year for the cap, everyone told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand this. But I'm like, no, just wait and see. And I'm going to tell everyone right now. I said at the beginning of 2022, 2023, yes, we will have additional cap space, but you don't have your quarterback signed. You don't have your star running back signed. So, yes, you have 50 million, but if you take on 2 of these guys, your cap space is gone, and you are going to have to hope and pray that Shane nails the draft because of the fact that at this scenario, you're not going to have anything to spend. You're not going to be, you're not going to be able to go out and get a Hopkins. You're not going to be able to go out and get a wide receiver. You're not going to be able to do anything. I did not invent math. Not sure who invented math. It wasn't me. But like I said,
all right.
Lie.
Okay, so you sign one and you don't sign the other. You can pick whichever way you're going to go. Okay, you sign one, you don't sign the other. I'm assuming that you're going to use a franchise tag. Are you using a franchise tag?
I'm using, if it's me, and I'll tell you right now, and it's gonna. I have a video coming out tomorrow, and I don't want to get too much in it, and I will get into it. It's called New York Giants: How the Giants Can Survive and Thrive Without Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. So it's about 40 minutes long. And it breaks down everything from the salary cap to the numbers and the average numbers between the running backs and quarterbacks and everything else. And it really deeply dives into it. But I will tell you this, if it's me, I tag Barkley. I know he's not going to be happy about it. And I know he's not going to want to take the 10.1, but he will sign that tag number. He's not going to sit out the season because of the fact that he is coming off of one career year or second career year after his rookie season after a myriad of injury. So he's going to take that deal. And that still allows me 40 plus to go out and sign additional players. And in my video tomorrow, I actually break down the players and be a position the Giants should end up signing. And then I think of it this way. You sign Barkley, you could probably pick up 5 quality free agents that could be starters on your team. They may not be names that some people are, the average fan has heard of, but I give 5 guys that you could get along with Saquon Barkley, along with your 11 draft choices, and still have your operational cap space that Shane wants during the season and still be able to improve your team while finding that quarterback, while holding on to Tyrod Taylor and move forward that way because the math works. And yes, we have more cap space and the cap is going to get larger and larger, but it's like inflation. Everything's going up, but you know what also is going up? Salaries. So even though I may get an extra $10-20 million, people are then going to see, to your point, I want a little bit more of that pie. So they're going to want more and more money. So what you need to do, and like I've said this a million times before, a coach looks at the season. A general manager looks at 5 years down the road. And that's what a quality general manager does. And I think Shane, of what we have seen, and to some point to his disgust, of having to give that dead cap number to Leonard Williams in 2024 just so he could have the operational cap space in 2022. He doesn't want to do that. I don't see them extending Adoree Jackson. I don't see them extending Leonard Williams. I don't see them moving that cap space out because that's how Reese and Gettleman all got into trouble by kicking the can down the road. You can kick the can down the road so far before you run into a brick wall. And the Giants have run into that brick wall twice in the last 10 years. So I believe Shane is smart enough to understand, use your draft capital to build the foundation pieces of your roster, augment them with free agency, not going crazy, but augment them with quality talent, not depth talent, but quality starter talent, and then build your roster and your franchise through that way, because of the fact that it only makes sense because you need to keep fielding a competitive team. Nobody wants a one and done season where you're good 1 year, bad the next, okay the next year, good the next. Everyone wants to see the dynasty. Everyone wants to see the 80s and 90s Giants. Everyone wants to see, the 49ers, the Cowboys of the 70s and the 80s. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see we're just this one-time team. We go 11-5, and then the wheels fall off the bus next year because we wasted all of our capital and in reference to the salary cap on signing big name free agents, and then turn around and wonder where it all went wrong.
Boy, all right. So we got one more. We got one more. Okay, Tim.
Yeah, but I think this one gives. I was
getting ready to say we cannot have Tim answer this question.
Listen, we will ask him.
Let's ask the question, and I'll it's like a preview.
Yes, but can you give us just a little taste of what your video is going to be telling us about in regards of not having either one?
Not having either one.
I will give you a point where it says that there are certain players. There is a guard that's out there right now for Detroit that's coming up, that's available. I'm not gonna tell you who, because you go up and Google it. There's a linebacker in Detroit that would fit into this mold. There's a player in San Francisco that would fit into this mold. And like I said, you can go and look at them. These are players that I've mentioned that are guys that you can get within the $8 to $12 million salary range that could fit, that are better talents than we have on the roster now, that could start immediately. And like I said, the whole idea is, like I said, you need to augment your roster via free agency. You don't want to how many times has teams tried to build a roster via free agency and have it never work out? Because it doesn't, because you're not building your foundation. You build your foundation through the draft, you augment it with free agency, and you hope that those crops of players that you drafted 3 years ago are now turning around and turning that corner and becoming players. So you keep building the cycle, because you also have the contract cycle with the 5-year contracts. And you also have to remember you have your rookie contracts, first rounders, maturing financially each year. So you have to keep an eye on that as well. And at the end of the day, if you figure out a way to draft properly and secure your future via free agency by not overpaying, that's going to turn you into a winner.
Dash, I got to tell you, I love that. Is that what you talk about? Is that what you talk about? Because I feel like that's what you talk about, and I love that. Love that, yo. Y'all got to understand something. Y'all don't understand how much I love that mofo right there. God, if we can make that happen, yo, listen to me. If we can make that happen, game changer.
Much love, brother.
Game changer. Okay, all right. So here's the deal, because we're getting ready to hit an hour live here in a few minutes, right? We typically go till like 9:15, 9:30, and I don't want to keep people on, because we're all adults with jobs and shit. So okay, Rob, give me one player that you would go and sign a free agency day one. One player, and tell me why.
Tremaine Edmonds.
All right, hit me. I mean, you don't have to say a whole lot, but go ahead. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I think he's probably the more popular amongst Giants fans. TJ's is one, Tremaine and TJ Edwards. Those are the two guys that I would potentially go for. The reason why I would go for Tremaine is a couple of reasons. One, the kid's 24. He came into the league when he was 19 years old, so he's been in the league for 5 years. He's only 24 years of age. He was scouted by Joe Shane. Dave knows who he is. Shane knows who he is. The kid can play sideline to sideline. I think when you saw in that game against the Miami Dolphins in the playoff game, he could play coverage. He could play run. I think this is a guy that plays physical, plays to the ball, attacks it at the highest point, is not afraid to lay the hit, and he doesn't get caught in the wash. Does not get caught in the wash. He can get down the field, down the line of scrimmage, and make some plays. And I think when you pair him with a guy like Dexter Lawrence at the nose tackle position, I think can make some big things and some nice things happen. And I think the same way with TJ Edwards. I think TJ would be a good pick as well. But for me, it's Jermaine Edmonds. I think he's probably going to command somewhere around $80 million is what I think his contract would be. You could probably go ahead and, give him anywhere from 50 to 60 guaranteed. I think that'll probably come out to about $15 million a year, some or at least somewhere close to that for the next 4 years. I saw an image where the Patriots would get him at like $77 million, but that would be the guy that I would go for. I think that's your middle linebacker for the future, and he's young enough to where when you are getting ready to compete, he'll still be young. He'll be 20, 27, so he'll still have some years left on him.
Okay. So Tim, is there a player that's not on your list coming up that is like an honorable mention that you would love to have, but he's not a guy that is on your list?
I'm actually going to take this a different direction because everyone talks about the quarterback. We need a quarterback. When there's no quarterback options. And I started doing film work, and I don't do a lot of film work anymore, but I started doing some film work the last couple of days. And there's a name.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
That keeps coming up in my mind. And there's a name that I keep seeing, and it's a kid out of Louisville. His name is Malik Cunningham. Didn't know a lot about him until I started watching the film. 40-plus career games. The kid has got over 120 touchdowns, over 9,000 yards passing, another 3,100 yards rushing. He is listed as 6'1", but I always worry that it's a college 6'1", which means he's more like 5'10". Accuracy can be an issue at times, but if you are looking for a quarterback later in the draft that has the potential to be Josh Allen-esque, not in vis-a-vis his size, but in reference to his athletic ability and the ability to be a dual threat quarterback and someone that can come in and run a run-heavy system like Brian Dable ran last year. He's a kid to look at. Like I said, I'm always going to go with Hooker. I say you take Hooker in the second round or you trade up out of 50-something, get him early in the second. But this is a kid I think you get in the 5th, 6th, 7th round that if you're looking for if you do bring back Daniel Jones or you just have Tyrod Taylor, if you're looking for a project kid that can actually fit into the system and has innate abilities, certain intangibles that you see on film. And like I said, I always say this about college players. I don't like watching college film because what you do in college, you probably are not going to be able to transition over into in the pros. What I look at when I watch college film, I watch the good plays, I watch the bad plays, I watch them all, and I don't look at the outcome. You have to look at his ability to be in a pocket, his footwork, his throwing motion. You look at things such as that, not the outcome of the play. And if you watch this kid, he's raw, he's got talent, but he has a pocket awareness, he has a pocket presence. He has this instinct ability to know when to tuck it and run. And I think that's difficult to find. And I've said this before, there's two types. You can either be a scrambling quarterback or you can be a running back. I'm a running quarterback. Daniel Jones is not a scrambling quarterback. He is a running quarterback by design. This kid is kind of a mixture of both. He reminds me of Hooker, that he's a running quarterback and he's also a scrambling quarterback. So I think if you want to just, poke a name and, on the draft chart, and like I said, I'm going to keep looking at some of the film and talking to a few other people, but like I said, he's an interesting prospect.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, let me tell you who I would be going after, because I think pairing this person with our tight end Bellinger, man, is gonna set the world on fire. So what I'm gonna do, man, is I'm gonna sign a nice long-term contract to Evan fucking Ingram. We bringing him back, baby. I'm kidding. I'm not bringing that some bitch back. So actually, the real answer is I'm looking at maybe a DJ Shark. I think maybe I can get DJ Shark in here on a decent deal, right? I mean, there's a couple other players. I don't know how I feel about Juju, but I saw somebody throw his name out. I saw a few people throw Juju's name out on the Twitters.
Don't let Ash hear you say that.
Listen. I just saw people. I saw some people throw Juju's name out. I'm not excited about Juju. I'll take DJ Chark. I'll take Chark. Right? He's fast as shit. And I think we could utilize him. But like I'm calling wide receivers, y'all. That's what I'm calling wide receivers in free agency. I'm trying to get like two pretty damn good wide receivers. They ain't got to be number ones because I'm planning on at least picking a couple wide receivers in the draft as well. But I'm making the call to some damn wide receivers, and Chark is probably the first one.
The rumor is he's still looking for 14 plus.
Shark?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Oh well, in that case, he can go fuck himself. No, 14.
Yeah, I'm a quasi Jaguars fan because I had Jaguar season tickets when I lived in Florida. So, outside of some success that he had early on with the Jaguars, besides injuries and inconsistency, he still thinks he's a bigger name than he probably plays like he is. And there's rumors that he's looking for 14 plus.
That's a good name. Paris Campbell's a good name, by the way, Big Dash.
Paris Campbell.
This is a good question right here.
This is a guy that I was eyeing in free agency too. Your thoughts, Tim? Ben Powers, guard from Baltimore. I think they drafted Cleveland last year. Ben actually ended up getting the start, beat out Cleveland. I think they may turn the reins over to Cleveland, being the young player. Thoughts? Could this be like another, like a Glowinski contract type of deal where it's a similar structure?
Well, I think he's about 26, so it's going to be a little bit different than the Glowinski deal because of the fact that he's going to have more of a potential upside because of the fact that he may not have reached his peak ability right now. I know he's over 330 pounds. I know he has some ability. I don't know what he would want though. That's the question because he's at 26 years old. He's at that contract age. We're kind of like Daniel Jones. You're trying to get paid.
He wants.
So that would be the question of if what he's going to want financially because he would be
for guards though.
He would be a good fit for the Giants, but like I said, I would just be curious what he wants to bring in on because this is going to be his contract year. This is going to be where he makes his money. This is where he's going to be, 5 years. He's going to take him to 31 years old. So I would be curious to see what he's looking at market value wise.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that I was eyeing. I thought to put him on the side of Andrew Thomas at the left guard position, which is I think where he played with Baltimore. I thought that would be a real nice addition to try to get some stability at the left guard spot.
Wasn't he ranked the top rated pass protecting guard last year?
He might have been.
I
know that his rank was up there. He was very good. He was very, very good. People in the beginning questioned why Cleveland didn't get the start. But as Ben Powers played, he's been a solid guard for the last couple of years. As far as his rankings. So it'd be very, very interesting. Let me ask this. As far as on the O-line, again, barring maybe and not getting into like what you're going to release tomorrow, but say Jones is gone, maybe Barkley's back at least on a tag on a low number at the 10 million or something like that. The center position, are you going free agency or would you look into the draft? A couple of guys that I like. There's a guy, obviously Schmitz from Minnesota, probably going to be the best center in the draft. You have the kid, I think it's Weich from Ohio State. But there's a guy that's projected to be like maybe a fourth rounder, maybe a fourth rounder, maybe a fifth rounder if he falls from Michigan. Can't think of his name, but he's another kid that plays the center position pretty well. Are you more for that position there? Are you more leaning maybe free agency if they can get like a Mitch Morse or Connor McGovern, or do you go younger in the draft potentially at that position and let him kind of blossom into the center?
Is a name I like. That's a name I like. By the way,
I like Connor, but my thing is this: especially if Jones is gone, and I have the potential, the fact that I'm either gonna be.
I think we just totally lost Tim. He's not even back. Everything shut off for Tim. I think.
Well, wait a minute. He might have lost power.
Yeah, he may have. which sucks because I was just getting ready to wrap this motherfucker up. All right. Well, listen. Damn, Tim.
Poor Tim.
Poor Tim, man. Tim's battery ran out. His internal battery. He just so listen. All right. I'm gonna say this. Okay, I'm gonna say this to y'all because probably not. Oh, there he is. There he is. He back. I'm back.
Damn. I was just saying the fact that if I'm gonna have a rookie quarterback or I'm gonna have Tyrod Taylor under center, I'm gonna want a veteran. I'm going to want a guy that's going to be able to make the line calls, make the adjustments, work with the rookie quarterback. If I'm keeping Daniel Jones, and there's more of an opportunity to draft a center at that point in time. But Connor McGovern, like I said, that was a great name. I mean, I would personally, like I said, especially if I'm going to potentially go with Tyrod or a rookie, would want that veteran calming presence under center.
Okay, so we're going to actually get ready to wrap up. And I want to get this thought out there, okay? So check it out, y'all. At the end of the day, none of us really know what's going to happen, and I love all the conversation because the things that I'm hearing in these Twitter spaces when I be listening on the low, I'm hearing some good ideas. I'm hearing some good possibilities, and I'm glad that at least a fair amount of this discussion is productive. People aren't necessarily, going too crazy and too far to the left, but some of y'all is wilding out. We don't know what's going to happen, and we're not going to know what's going to happen for a few more weeks. Okay, so why are we going to sit here and we going to speculate? Because we haven't even touched. We didn't even really touch on Saquon for real, because we focus so much on Daniel Jones, but that's the most important player. It is. Okay,
you'll find out in 2 weeks.
The most important player. We're gonna find out in 2 weeks. So in a week, we're gonna come back here. We're gonna speculate some more, right? But until we actually find out what's happening, until we actually know what's going on, stop panicking, y'all. It's either gonna suck or it's gonna be good. But this is the cost of doing business when football is no longer free. Okay. It's not free no more. Get used to us being a little extra puckered now, because this shit matters now. All right. So, but relax, y'all. We're gonna be all right. Tim, tell us what is when exactly is that video dropping? Are you doing like a premiere, or are you just going to click it and say it's here?
It's a premiere. It's already up. It's going to be at 11:30, so you could actually go and see the thumbnails and leave comments ahead of time. And again, like I said, it's how the New York Giants can survive and thrive without Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. One thing I did want to say is I hate when people say to me, "What do you care? It's not your money." Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Technically, it is my money. I'm a season
ticket holder too. I just paid my fucking PSLs last night. God damn it! You know how much that shit costs?
Well, on the low end, it's $1,000 for a one seat on the low end.
So. Yes, and I have two of them hoes. Okay, my shit's expensive. All right, so yes, it is our money.
It is our.
We are investors. We invest in the New York Football Giants as ticket holder.
You buy the gear if you go to the games.
Dash says that shit all the time. It's not your money. So what you worried about? Dash
it is. It is. God damn it! I just dropped 2 beans. I just dropped 2 beans on PSLs, and in one sitting, it was like I gotta pay 2 beans. Fuck, dude. And 2 beans was just gone. I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Plus, you have to pay that price. And now they at least they gave it to you where they divide it up over 4 payments if you want.
Well, so that is how I'm going to actually pay for the season tickets. I had to pay for the PSL straight out because I just ain't got time for all that shit. But the tickets, I'm not paying for them tickets all at once. All right, fuck that. I'm not doing it. I could, but it's the principle. All right, it's the fucking principle. I'm not paying for these tickets right now. Fuck y'all.
But like I said, I'm not picking on Big Dash because I didn't even know he said it. And I love Big Dash. Everyone knows that. But like I said, I just get aggravated because of the fact that, like I said, if I'm buying the jerseys, if I'm spending my time, and I'm spending my time sometimes away from my family, this is what I like to do. But at the end of the day, I'm not only a season ticket holder, and technically, like Pest was saying, I'm almost like an investor. And you know what? I want to see a return for my money because I had season tickets when we've been bad for years, and I still went to every single game. I bitched and moaned and complained, but I was there in the stands. I would like to see another winner before I die.
I unfortunately couldn't afford season tickets until a couple of years ago. But listen, it's a lot when you're a season ticket holder, and some of y'all got to remember something, okay? For me, it's a 5.5 hour drive just to get to the stadium, okay?
Yeah,
and I turn and burn that bitch, okay? Like straight up. So like, yeah, I understand that it's not our money, but it is my money. It's my time. It's my gas. It's the oil. It's the snacks for my wife so she don't be mad at me because we're going to be on the road for 5.5 hours. I got to pay for all that shit, yo. All that shit. Fuck you, Chris. I'm not trusting you to drive a goddamn thing, okay? I'm scared to walk with you sometimes. I'm scared to just walk next to you sometimes, Chris. Okay, so after that video, what's the next video, Tim? What's the next thing?
The next video actually is still in what they refer to as production. So and for those that do not know, Online Big Blue got sold. I sold the channel outright, but they've decided to bring me back, and that's why it's changed to New York Giants Straight Talk. So they decided to let me host that show and do it on which will formally be the Online Big Blue channel in a couple months. But we're still they're still kind of just going through the names. So that's why I'm only doing 1 video a week. So we do actually have production meetings, and I hope people have noticed that the quality of the videos has gone up to 4K. We've done studio work. So hopefully everyone's enjoying it and having a good time watching it. We have a lot of topics coming up, and I will tell you this, if you do want to be on our segment called On the Mic, email me at tim@onlinebigbluE.com. It's a 10-minute segment where you come on and you can speak and pontificate for 10 minutes about anything New York Giants, and I just keep my mouth shut and let you take everything over. So again, that's tim@onlinebigbluE.com. Just anyone can come on, anyone can do it. We have about 7 or 8 people already lined up, but you know what? Get your name on the list. I love hearing what people have to say and getting ideas, because you know what? Sometimes people come up with stuff that I never even thought of, and I think it's like I said, I think it's great when people are doing these streams and people were doing the Twitter thing, because of the fact there's such an exchange of ideas. And when I come on with Rob a lot of times recently, it's a really good crowd. And I will say this, I've been on some live streams where it's been, I will say, not nice. And I've been on, and because, I have an attitude, yes, and I'm boisterous and I have a big personality. So sometimes I'm open to that. But on this Twitter thing, and I don't know what the hell it's called, Twitter Space, I will say this, it's really been a great crowd. It's been a knowledgeable crowd, which is fantastic. Not only about the Giants, but about football in general.
Yes.
And I think,
I love it.
I would just hope that Rob keeps this up and keeps it going, because of the fact, like I said, it really is a good group. Every time I go in there's more and more people each time. I will say this, I haven't gone in that much. I think I've done two or three. But I'll try to do more down the road, because like I said, it is just it's a great opportunity just for everyone to share and exchange. And, with Rob in there, I know Dash is in there, Mr. Authentic's been in there. I just hope everyone, when Rob puts it up, that you guys go and do it, because like I said, it is a great time. It's knowledgeable, and you don't get well, I haven't seen it yet, but you don't get those people that you can't have an exchange of ideas without somebody getting upset.
Sometimes it happens, but that's the internet,
That's the internet. But like I said, I've seen it worse on live streams. When I did live streams, you got a couple hundred people in the chat, and there's conversations going on. You're just like, I don't even want to be involved in that. So at least it's knowledgeable and it's fun to do. And it's like I said, if it's at lunchtime, it's great for me because you know what? Like I said, I'm usually free.
Yeah, typically when I do it,
the shit lasts for like 73 hours in a 24-hour time frame. So you ain't gonna you can't miss that motherfucker.
Yeah, we took a little bit of a break, when the season ended, just to kind of recharge. I did one yesterday, did one today for a while. I think unless some big news happens tomorrow, we'll probably, kind of rest tomorrow. But once free agency starts picking up, we're going to be doing more. When the season was going on, we were doing them every day, 5 days a week. But there are a lot of knowledgeable people that are in there, some of which, they're friends. I've got their numbers. I speak with them on a daily basis. Sal, who's not a content creator, very knowledgeable young man about college prospects. If you are really wanting to know about a prospect that's coming out of college, the school he went to, some of the, kind of good traits, he is constantly watching, college ball, studies it. He's very knowledgeable about the actual cap itself. It just has a good mind. We've got Antonio, Big Dash, the always good conversation, very, very knowledgeable. Antonio, which is Breaking Tackles podcast. He likes to break down a lot of film, really gets into a lot of the statistics through advanced sports or whatever it's called. He really dives into that. And then we just got guys. I call them motorheads, guys that have been watching the game for years, that were able to see the first Super Bowl, the second Super Bowl. I envy those people. So that's this guy right here.
I've seen all of them. Every
one of those guys. It's one of those guys. So it's a good time. It's a good time. We started around 10 o'clock when we do them. We go for as long as the chat can keep going. So if you're not following me, follow me on Twitter. Come through, hang out, ask for a mic. We'll get you up. We always have some really good conversations. So especially when this offseason is ramping up with free agents and draft, you're going to want to be there. So appreciate that, Tim. Thank you.
Okay, very
well. Yeah. And for me, y'all just see me around the internet. All right. I'm keeping a low profile for right now. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm doing more in the background than I'm doing in front of the camera right now. But I'll be in front of the camera more, y'all. I keep telling you that, but I'm not going to tell you when, because I don't want to have a deadline. But I will be back in front of the camera a lot more in the future when I finish working on other stuff. So, yeah, listen, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there.
Make no mistake about it. I will still be your favorite heel on Twitter. I will still be there.
That's so he should. Chris, I'm in those things every fucking day. I'm just not talking because I'm at work. I have a real job now. Like the pandemic's over. I have to actually go in the office.
Authentic's in there. Dude, I feel bad I didn't mention Authentic, but Authentic's been in there. Great insight, man. Sorry, Authentic, that I didn't mention your name. I felt like I just disrespected you there, but Authentic always brings some good shit too, man. Love that guy, man.
Hey, listen, man. We're not gonna sit here and disrespect the smooth, silky, deep voice of Authentic. Not on my watch.
That kind of sounds like Authentic, to be honest with
you. Not on my watch, god damn it. I'm not gonna let y'all do that to my boy Authentic with his deep, savory ass voice. So listen, y'all, we're gonna get ready to get the hell up out of here. So again, appreciate all y'all. Just relax, okay? Go ahead and have your spirited debates. Go ahead and talk about all your shit, but relax, y'all. Because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen until it happens. So listen, for Tim, at Giant Straight Talk and Online Big Blue, when it's a website, right, you're going to have this man's moving up in the fucking world, and he's going to forget about us little assholes here soon, okay?
I will. You know what, Pest? I will never do that because no one else likes me.
Well, that's you know what? You're actually kind of right.
I know.
You're actually kind of right. So listen, we go end that up, man. So for Tim, for Rob, I'm your boy Pest, and we will get up with you guys later. Deuces.